Alright, cool. So this is gonna be a quick video. It's only gonna be the length of this video, probably. I'm just gonna give my thoughts on this subject and why I think it's not a good direction to move in. So just to completely open up, right here you can see that these are team fights that are happening within League of Legends. I know a lot of you don't play that. I don't know, everybody doesn't play that game. However, I know that a significant portion of players play that game, possibly, I mean, like EPO references at all. So the reason why I'm using this in the background is because one of the things about this game and about gaming in general is the I want to say the replication value. I will call it the replication value. And the replication and inspiration. And so something that's very, very interesting here is there is a lot of times where people don't know what they can do until somebody else does it. For example, in this clip here, the person on Caitlyn in the background, people didn't know Caitlyn was this good until this guy started playing Caitlyn like this. And then Caitlyn became meta, and eventually it's like one of the most disgusting champions of the game. And the reason why is because there are innovators, there are people who do these things, who inspire others to do the same things or whatever. And it's this constant source of everybody pushing everybody to get better, right? So if you have a player who figures out a really fucking insane strategy, I understand from a corner that you want to keep that strategy hidden for the sake of making things like exciting, because it's like a hidden strategy people don't know. But at the same time, when that strategy becomes public, it becomes a sense that it doesn't necessarily hurt the game. It makes it better overall, because then people naturally improve upon that strategy, and so it keeps things alive, essentially, because you're constantly able to see, like, a good example is you're constantly able to basically see these flaws in certain things and be like, oh, this needs to be improved upon, oh, this needs to be changed like this, or blah blah blah. And so the reason why I'm saying this, and talking about the inspiration and replication thing here, is because it's been brought to my attention that recently, and this has been getting worse and worse, and so I just feel think there needs to be a full discussion about this. But recently, it's been getting to the point where fights are not allowed to be watched. And I know why they're not allowed to be watched, but the problem with it is it's a philosophy behind why it's not allowed to be watched. The same reason why all of the jutsu cards are not public in the database, it's because it's meant to maintain this sense of secrecy and not knowing what people have and this and that. The problem is when you have anything that has a meta behind it, when you have anything that has a competitive interest into it or whatever, at the highest level of competitive play, at the highest level of high-ranked gameplay, like we're gonna talk like Special Domain and higher, because of the nature of the game, you are automatically expected to understand and to know what most of everybody does. If somebody was to dash, or not dash, but use their best technique against a Hyuga and Titan was still up, people would probably flame them. Because they'd be like, don't you know that Titan does this, and this, and no one has these stats, and this, and this? And it's like, no, I don't know. I didn't know. And because you don't know at the highest level, you get punished for it. And so, it's this weird balance that I get that people like Xerif and Abby kind of want to maintain, where it's like they want these cool icy moments where it's like people don't know what all happened. happens and it helps for the story to grow, but at the same time, it's so bad because of the state of the game. Like, the state of the game currently is there is a meta. The state of the game currently is there is a competitive level. The state of the game currently is at Special Junine and higher. If you want to have exciting, fun gameplay, you need to be able to play at a specific level. And if you cannot, unfortunately, right now in the game, those levels or those ranks mean that you're just gonna be farmed. You're gonna be the person who fucking loses every single fight. And if your team continues to bring you, then whatever. You can just be farmed until eventually, like, some shit happens or whatever, and you die, or if you can't die, then you'll just be constantly farmed for just ranks. That's just how it happens. Because you're just not at that high meta competitive level. Like, it just is what it is. Like, there's just tiers in the game. That's just how it is. If you get to Diamond Elo and you're actually a gold player, you may want to play in Diamond because you just want to play in Diamond, but if you know you can't handle it, you're gonna be dying all the time. You're gonna be the person sucking. You're gonna be the person who's going 0 and 10, and people are like, damn, you just don't know what the fuck you're doing at all. And some people will be like, people will deal with it by just ignoring you and just not going with you anywhere, or people will just be like, oh, let that person die on their, whatever. Anyway, back to the main point I was trying to say. This ideology of banning people from being able to watch fights, especially high-level fights, so bad because it removes this concept right here of being able to watch these high-level game impact moments. People go, whoa! Like, those moments, like, you don't know how many people have, like, DM'd me and told me that they were just so fucking, like, impressed by the Oto Kage, Oto Kumo shit that, like, it made them want to play the game better. It made them want to invite their friends to play the game because they saw it could be played at such a high level and such a fun level. Like, removing that because you want to try to preserve some sense of secrecy because your philosophy is that if you keep it secret, it makes things better overall for the health of the game. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because at the end of the day, the same thing's going to happen. The fight's going to be ending. People are going to the people who lost are going to tell everybody how the fuck they lost. So everybody's going to know OCOI no matter what you do, what happened. So either you can let people partake in the moment, grow from the moment, better themselves from the moment, improve upon the health of the game, and inspire people to play the game more because they're hyped and pumped up behind seeing this really cool shit. Or you can just keep it secret, and people will find out still, but they won't have that inspiration. It'll just be, oh, COI, oh shit, I found out how the fight happened. This dude fucking, he did this thing, and he beat him. Oh, well, and because you're not there in the moment, because you're not there to experience it, you don't get the same effect. So all you do is just get the OOC, oh shit, this happened. Alright, well, whatever. And that doesn't make things better. Like, if people are there present watching this go down, you get your cons and your negatives. You get your OOC, yes, but you also get your inspiration, and you also get the replication, where people want to improve upon certain things. You get the same, and you get these bonuses from it that make the game overall better. But when you hide things and try to keep them secret, or worse, you ban people from being able to partake and even watch these things, even if they're supposed to be present, even if they are, like, legitimately people who could be at the event, not actually, like, just walking there on a random alt, you make it so that it just becomes pure OOC, because you remove the IC from it. Because the IC in it is being able to watch it in the moment that it happens. That is how you are able to enjoy it and able to really soak in that this is a cool moment. Like, if I'm watching League of Legends, if I'm watching a team, like one of these epic team fights that you guys just saw, live in the moment, it's way more epic, way more on your edge, on the toes of your feet or whatever, fantastic to experience, compared to watching the fucking clip of it later on, or hearing how it went later on. Oh yeah, he knocked him into the wall, and that's how they won. Oh, okay. That doesn't inspire me to go fucking jump into a game of League of Legends and try to knock somebody into the wall. If I get to watch the Vayne 1v5 in the moment, like, that shit makes me go, damn, that was so fucking cool. I gotta go fucking do that in my game. I gotta go fucking play some, whatchamacallit, Vayne and try to fucking get good at her or whatever. That shit was awesome. But if I just hear the text of it later, oh yeah, she killed 5 people. Oh, damn, that's cool. All right, well, I'm gonna go about my day now. Like, that doesn't, it's this give and take. And sometimes I feel like there's this really big disconnect between, like, the people, like, this is not throwing shots or spitting on anything, but sometimes I feel like there's a disconnect between Xerif and Abby as developers and head admins and owners between actual players, because it just sometimes feel like they've, like, it's just like a lot, like they just lost they've forgotten what it's like to be a player. Some of the best experiences in old SSO was seeing these fucking, like, you couldn't go to every single one of them always, but seeing some of these epic fucking fights that would just happen in front of you, and that shit would just be like, damn, that shit was so cool, and all you could wait to do is do some cool shit like that yourself. But when you remove that element, you remove that ability for people to be able to witness the moment, to be able to take that moment into themselves, and to be able to feel like they want to do that type of thing themselves, like that high level gameplay or that high level cool move or that high level strategy. You remove that essence, and all it becomes is just the solo act, because you remove that feeling of being in a bigger world. There is a feeling of being in a bigger world when you watch a fight. You don't get that feeling when you see a fucking text and world that says so-and-so was in the dark mist and they did this and blah 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 and that was that, and it was like, oh, and he walked away from the fight, well, haha, I won. That does not fucking compare to being in the moment and reading the actual epic moments between the players, the role plays between the players, where you can just feel the detail and you can feel like you're actually in there in the moment watching the fight happen in front of you. That is what makes the game what it is. And by removing that element in some mindset to be able to try to make the game healthier, because you don't want the OOC seeping into the game, you cannot remove the OOC from the game. And by trying so hard to remove the OOC from the game, you are going to negatively impact it, because you are going to remove the IC from the game. And I understand that there's a philosophy that, well, if we embrace the OOC, or if we embrace people spectating fights, then it means people are just going to collect cards. It means we're just encouraging more bad behavior. The problem is, in the game itself, the bad behavior exists. The bad behavior does not only exist, it is encouraged. And if you don't do the bad behavior, you will fucking suck in the game at the highest levels. You will be the fucking Special Jonin who sucks dick. You will be the guy who's Special Jonin who never gets the Jonin. You will be the Special Jonin who people hate because you're taking up a slot and holding like actual people who can like win battles from ever doing anything. And I know it's a roleplay game, but this is a roleplay game that has developed a meta in and of itself, and you have to accept that. And that doesn't mean you have to make all the cards public, because I get that that's like a philosophy and you don't want to do that, even though we can make a whole video on that whole concept. But at the same time, you cannot go in this very private, secretive fashion type thing, because again, at the end of the day, it's just going to get exposed. And then the second thing is, you're removing the benefits that come from being there in these moments. And being in there these moments, watching these epic things happen, that is why I originally started playing this game. I did not start playing this game because I wanted to fight so-and-so myself. I started playing this game because when I logged in, I saw 2 people brawling it out, and they were like bringing an entire scene to life in front of my eyes. That is what inspired me to roleplay. What inspired me to roleplay was not me just logging in and walking up to somebody and be like, oh, yeah, let's talk or whatever, blah, 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 me and them. It was seeing somebody else do it, and that inspired me. And that's another thing that I'll get into. I'm just going to say real fast. When you complain about people like fluffing each other, one of the reasons why people end up fluffing each other, and I know this has been mentioned before, is because if 2 people don't give a shit, then people don't give a shit. If one person gives a shit and cares more, it encourages the other person to care more. Like I said, seeing these high-level fights makes the health of the game roleplay-wise better. You will see OOC from it. You will see people copying cards. That shit's going to happen regardless. If the people aren't there to copy the cards, damn straight, they're going to get the cards after the fight. That's just how this shit works. So, what do you choose? Do you choose to embrace and try to give the best boost you can give to IC? Because doing it the way you're doing now is OOC plus 10, IC plus 0. The way you can do it when the people are actually spectating fights and in the moment, IC plus 15, OOC plus 7. Which one is better for you? You're going to have OOC no matter what. But one of them makes people enjoy and pushes their IC more. The other one makes the game just more fucking OOC because all it is about collecting cards after a fight's done. That's the end of this. I'm not sure if this came off as a rant. Maybe it did. But I felt like this is a discussion and this is a topic that needs to be said because this needs to be put out there before this becomes another fucking thing that people come back to months later and say, what the fuck? How did we get here? Because we've had this happen countless times with random shit. We've had this shit happen with like fucking the time length of battles where it's like, this is a fucking problem. This is not a good philosophy. And months later, we see the results of doing this specific thing and doing it more and more. And we say, how did we get here? So this is another moment where I'm saying this is going to be a thing where it's going to be like, how did we fucking get here? Where people stopped caring about fighting so much. And one of the reasons is, again, because people stopped realizing that it wasn't an IC thing. It was just two people doing something privately. And no one gave a fuck outside of it. So win or lose, whoever won, whoever lose, that's all that fucking matters. All the other stuff in the middle, no one gave a shit. Because it was just those two people and nothing else fucking matters. I'm pretty sure that's the end of this. I think that this rule that is currently in play, whoever put it in play, Xerif, you know I love you, but at the end of the day, dude, if you put this in play, this is one of those really, really bad things that it's going to lead to a how the fuck did we get here type thing. You need to reconsider this, and for people listening to this video, please have this, let's make this a discussion, whether it needs to go in suggestions, whether it needs to go in off topic, whatever. This needs to be the topic of discussion because this is something that is a slippery slope and it's more control based on trying to control what people do, and it only just ends up breeding more toxicity into the game because all it becomes about then is just collecting the cards after the fight's over with. No one gives a fuck about who did what in the fight. It doesn't fucking matter. Just give me the fucking cards. Tell me how this person maybe won at the end. That's it. I don't give a shit. It's not good. It's not good for the game. This is really, really bad direction to go in. It's very controlly. It's very, very trying to force a certain philosophy down people's throats that you cannot because of the nature of the game that you have created. That's it. Video over.